there have been a number of surveys of veterans, and overall, veterans who do get treated are satisfied with their treatment.
Much more so than people in the regular system.
It's exactly right. Now, nobody would believe that from the coverage that you see and the constant berating of the VA that comes from the Republicans, in part in pursuit of this ideological agenda.
But in part because there has been real scandal.
But it's not been as widespread as it has been made out to be.
And that, of course, was Hillary Clinton suggesting that the problems at the Veterans Administration have not been as widespread as it's been made out to be. Clinton further blamed the perception that the VA is failing on a Republican agenda intended to bring about the privatization of the services provided by the VA. But is she right? Certainly not according to a recent CNN investigation, which found that wait times to get into the VA are actually getting worse. What's more, a federally funded report released in September of this year concluded that the VA continues to be plagued by a wide host of problems. Now, addressing Mrs. Clinton's comments, Paul Rieckhoff, founder and CEO of the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, said that Clinton's remarks were a, quote, head-scratcher. Rieckhoff added that the Clinton argument is neither winning nor factually correct. So the big question, is Hillary attempting to insert the VA into partisan politics, and is that where it belongs, because she wasn't accurate on the point itself? Yeah.
This is a situation where we need to rise above partisan politics, so I'm not even going to criticize Hillary on this. I just am going to call her better spirit out, that we should be doing the absolute best for our military men and service women who write a blank check to protect all of our freedom.
I am going to criticize Hillary for it because I wasn't happy about it at all. She was correct to a point in the first part of her statement. There are VA hospitals in the country that once you get in, they do a very good job. Unfortunately, it goes city by city. Some are better than others. But to suggest that too much has been made out of this problem does a gross disservice. The biggest problem we have is that everybody agrees that the VA is critical, that we have an obligation to the people we send to fight for us, and then they forget about it.
It's a total blight on our nation's soul, is the bottom line. And the only partisan part that I'll inject into it is just that when Hillary opens her mouth, it's always political and partisan. Right. Nothing that she says isn't. And this is something where it really should be about. It should be about our veterans. You know, forget about the politics.
I agree, and you know, this is the problem. People like me who might be more inclined to take her side in a situation, I'm not going to argue your point, because I don't care if this is because the Republicans want to privatize the VA. Make the case as to why that's bad for our veterans if you think that's what it's about. But don't say that the problem's not as widespread, because we know that it is. Many of you will recall along those lines that in May of 2014, when General Eric Shinseki stepped down as the head of the VA, and that, of course, was following a series of scandals and exposés on just how bad things were going over there, before he did that, the general at least went public and acknowledged the truth. He said he had initially believed the problems were limited and isolated, but he no longer believed that to be the case. He admitted that the problems were systemic and that he would not defend the VA because it was, in his words, indefensible. So we replaced Shinseki. He was replaced with a one-time Procter & Gamble executive, Robert McDonald, who was supposed to get the VA back in working order. But does anyone think for any reason that things have substantially improved under new leadership, Joe? There's no evidence.
No, there is no evidence. And I'm sure that Robert McDonald is a very capable person. I think the problem is bigger than one man coming in to fix it. This is wholesale changes that have to be made, and that means more resources and a hell of a lot more money than they're currently getting right now, because otherwise it's not a one-key, turnkey solution, as they say, or one-person solution.
I agree with that. And I'm going to soapbox here just a little bit if you guys don't mind, because this is an issue that really, really gets to me. Look, you like to call our country an exceptional nation. You tell me how we can be exceptional when our number one obligation, and when I say number one, I mean before welfare, before defense, before anything, is to keep the promise we make to our veterans who go risk their life so we can sit here and fight in Congress. How can we call ourselves exceptional if we don't keep those promises. We're not keeping those promises. My question to you, Gail, is any ideas on what we should be doing? Do you think privatization is the way to go? Will that really provide our vets with the care they need?
Yes, but we should find out from the vets what they want. I mean, if you see them talking about the types of, frustrations they have with the system right now, it's very clear that it's not working for them. So privatizing it would give them more power over these choices that are made, and I think we should go in that direction.
It might. The one thing where I have a lot of concern is some of the great research in head injuries and things like this, prosthetics, comes from the VA because of the experience they get. I would hate to lose that, and I think we would if we went the privatization route. In any event, we should all talk about this some more. We want to know what you would do to improve the health care provided to our nation's veterans. Let us know your thoughts at newsmaxtv.com/comments. Coming up next, time for your viewer comments. Stay with us.